What do you guys think? Should we switch to refining the Riven deck we were playing yesterday? This deck was climbing a lot. I mean, it's day 1 of the patch, so everything climbs, but looking pretty hot. Yeah, what do you guys think? Riven? Yes, please. Yes, please. I agree, guys. Yes, please. I think Riven's great. But basically, you know, just to sort of talk about how this deck plays out. Basically, the idea is we're getting quick attack and overwhelm on the same unit, and then Flurry of Fists basically just wins the game on the spot, right? And of course, you know, that has a pretty good chance of getting countered, but it's just like free blow up potential, and Basilisk Rider is actually decent right now for the first time in a while, just because Riven got buffed, so suddenly there's enough Noxus cards to be able to look at a card like Basilisk Rider and not see it as like a huge deck building cost. So this is Fizz TF. Draven's Fan just for a turn 1 play is good in this matchup. Keeping Draven's Biggest Fan or Draven in your opening hands is actually a quite interesting puzzle. If it's a matchup where you want a 1-mana 2/1, then keep Fan. And if it's not, then kick Fan and keep Draven. You don't really have a reason to keep both of them. Might depend a little bit on the build. Have you tried some new versions of Lee yet? No. I mean, I'm trying like to go with stuff that is kind of more of a novel deck concept and not just an improved version of stuff we've seen already. Lee is cool. Like, I do like Lee Sin as an archetype. It's fairly fun to play. It's probably my favorite Targon deck, just because like it actually ends games. How is Prankster Burn now? Oh, the Monkey Prankster Burn? Might be a tier 3 deck. I don't think Monkey's good. I don't know. I heard some people saying Monkey is like unironic. It's definitely not as bad as it could be. I wouldn't quite call it unironic though. It's a pretty medium to high irony card. Get excited. Yep. So he discards Mind Meld here. I don't really like Mind Meld much in TF Fizz. It's a bit meta dependent, but yeah, I generally don't love it. I think it made sense at the very start of when the deck was coming on the scene, like when there was a lot of Plaza Targon. Hey Swim, it's Tom Sorcerer here. What's up, dude? Thought I'd write here because you never answer my messages anymore. Hope you didn't give up on a turnover turn Black Survival. Used to be awesome hanging out with you, smiley face. That's an old pasta, dude. Yeah, didn't they announce like some kind of event for that? Just pick a carding on a defensive turn down to 1 card. Man, part of me really wants to Culling Strike this Fizz, but another part of me like truly really doesn't. And that part wins. Well, you never thank the subs you get? I try to. Usually it's because I'm focused on the game and sometimes I miss them. That's my bad. I used to do that. Long-time fans will know. I used to remember to do that. I mean, we can put him on potentially a 2-turn clock with these. This is a little spooky. Although with his deck, I mean, he could kind of 1-turn us at 13, which is a real big problem. I mean, it always, you know, you really want to think about the game in terms of the clock and turns to kill, right? Like, this Overwhelm allows us to maybe 2-turn him with this 15. Most decks could not deal 13 to this, but his deck actually could. Suit up is solid for him there. Nice double suit up. Yeah, suit up is pretty good for him there. I mean, I guess I'm forced into taking a Spinning Axe. Wait, the survival skill should go on the left one, right? Hang on. Wait a second. Wait, it goes on the left one, right? Left is best. Why? Why the right one? Everything is left first. Jesus Christ. Dude, we would have won the game. We win the game if that goes through. I mean, he's at 8. What's going to happen here? Order of Summon? I mean, it has to be Order of Summon. Like, there's no other thing it could be. So, I mean, we can, like, Culling a Burblefish here. That's okay. I mean, we can't even kill him since we lost that Overwhelm. We can't kill him next turn, so, I mean, we can survive here, but we're still dying to him. Like, even if we do survive, and we're still dead to a decent amount of stuff. But, like, surviving here doesn't do anything because he can kill us next turn, and, maybe, I mean, there could obviously be a top deck that could get us there, but I don't think there's too much. Just Crisis deck? Yeah, I mean, Fizz TF is very, very good. It has fairly polarized matchups. Like, You can counter it. I mean, one can hope. Again, he can just kill us this turn with over the top. But Kato could potentially be a saving grace if he doesn't have that over the top. Why not call the 3-2 champion instead of the 3-1 follower? Noob streamer. Yeah. Does not look bad. I mean, is this exact lethal if he has nothing? Mister, you must have something here. Is this card Mystic Shot? This card is most likely, I mean, out of all the options, most likely Mystic. And Mystic is hilariously enough no good here. Are we actually exact lethaling this guy and we're at 1 health to his Mystic? Oh man. Oh! Oh yeah, it was the Burblefish card. I wasn't tracking. Fancy that. What a game. Ah, neat. Yep. So, I mean, it's pretty good for this deck. That was a pretty bad start for us, but we did manage to scoop it out in the end. If that survival skills had worked as intended, that would have not even been close. Like, we win the game on the spot if that happens, but we were able to cheat out a win even after that. The biggest question is how good is Basilisk Rider in this meta? That's kind of like by far the biggest question for this deck. We also have kind of bad Allegiance odds compared to most Allegiance decks. What makes you think TF Go Hard is tier 1 again? It's got really good stats and it counters a lot of things in the meta. Close to Lisa, this is Fearsomes. Usually this deck is splashing Targon for Pale Cascade, which just got nerfed. That's a little strange, but okay. That's fine. Man, do I just keep this full hands? I really want a 3-drop here. That works. Makes it so you don't need to play Field Rush and Ione matchups. That's true. It definitely makes it, I guess, a little bit less dependent on that. Now, we want to play Draven on 3 anyway, right? So I can just go wide with these. Looks good. Pale is so much worse now. Yeah, it got really nerfed. I think it's kind of a warranted nerf. I could see an argument to have changed it in some other way, but it kind of has been too strong overall for too long of a time. It's actually mind-blowing to me how much of a better card Blade Squire is now. Yeah. I mean, the 2 health does nothing if it has 1 attack. Like, a 1-2 is kind of like the most garbage stat line ever. So they basically just turned it into an actual card. Oh, I'm about to get Pale Cascaded. It's about to happen. The fearsome splashing Pale Cascade. My Draven can't block the Elise. I'm getting paled. The 1+1 attack Pale just messes me up all kinds of ways. This deck should be pretty good against Fearsomes. I mean, we're just another kind of like semi-aggro beef shove deck, except, you know, we have a lot of fearsome blockers, so we're kind of just end up ahead. So currently, you know, Draven has the ability to proc survival skills on itself. That's pretty good. We can go into Ballista into Squire. Not bad. Yeah, let's commit this out first. It's fine. The only problem with developing here is like this little thing called Wraith Collar is 2 units in 1 action. And I think this is a pretty easy full attack. The only issue with playing Ballista is it will always eat the survival skills, but I think that's fine. So we survival skills. Yeah, he's realizing that even though he might have Pale, we have axes, so he just can't block the Draven with anything. God, I really want to draw Flurry. We haven't drawn Flurry in any of these games today yet. That's the entire point of this deck. I think I actually level the Draven here. Interesting. I mean, I could try to threaten the Wraith Collar. The only problem with that is he would just... there's a very good chance he would Pale in response. And that's just not really worth it. Leveling Draven is pretty sweet. Of course, you would never do this if your opponent has a potential counter response, but when he's at 2 mana, there's nothing that he can have that stops this Draven from leveling reasonably. Get a Blade Fragment back. Yeah, and we're just kind of like mowing this guy down. Yeah, I think there's kind of been this gap in the meta for this idea of, you know, Noxus builds survival skills, like Riven with survival skills works decently well. I think this might be a real deck. Like, you know, I might need to make some changes for sure, but this is a pretty high potential concept, guys. I think Noxus is just absurdly well positioned right now. Really, really liking where Noxus is at with these tools. It's kind of scary. Maybe he could, you know, threaten to race us down a little bit here. That's a lot of damage. Why is that so much damage? Why am I losing to Atrocity? Fearsome's... Wait, Fearsome's doesn't run Atrocity, does it? I know they've been like sliding it. They've slid it in at points. They just run Harrowing now, right? I can't run Atrocity. We're fine. So it does sometimes run one Atrocity. We never lose to that. I actually think that, like, I mean, even against Atrocity odds, we still kind of have to try to threaten a one-turn clock here. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit too much that disrupt that. Yeah, I mean, decisive and nice. We beat non-Atrocity hands now. I love these sword fragment animations. It's nice actually being able to see them. Huge draw. Yeah, decisive maneuver was a kind of neat draw there. I'll admit it. Probably don't let this one through. Probably should block with it. Another thing. I wouldn't let this through. Gonna have an issue. Ooh, that's a sick play. Kind of is forced into doing it because he has to play around the axe thing. I mean, can't matter, can it? Buddy. Yeah, there's that pill we put him on from a really early position. Nice. Yeah, this deck is really not that bad. Like, actually. I think that Flurry is surprisingly unironic in this deck. Like, I think that if you were to compare this to other kinds of overwhelm decks, I don't expect Flurry to be the best one or anything like that. But it's really not bad. So we can try to address the curve a little bit. With Draven and Riven, you know, Ballista definitely could be more of a one-of than anything else. We're a little light on twos. I do think helping the curve out a little bit is nice. A little overextended on threes. As much as I like Ballista, with Draven and Riven, it's kind of hard to support that much. Having another 2 here that has this kind of aggressive potential is nice. Not sure what I want. I mean, Legion Drummer is sort of a cute way of trying to give quick attacks and stuff. I think it's kind of trolly in this deck. Maybe just like a single Grenadier or something like that. Trifarian Hopeful. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Wait, we have like 8 Noxus 1-drops. 7. Is this the time? Is it Trifarian Hopeful time? It's kind of like a really bad Legion Grenadier, I think. But sometimes it's really good. Whirling. Yeah, I mean, I like Whirling. I could definitely see running 1 or 2 Whirling. I think that would kind of replace the Culling Strike slot more than anything else. We have a lot of tricks. Trifarian Hopeful to pop off. Hopeful is kind of like Legion Grenadier, except instead of dealing 1 damage reliably, Hopeful has like a 10% chance of dealing 2 damage. It's all in the name. In niche metas where there's a lot of just like double float decks, I mean, Hopeful can make sense, but it's a response to a pretty fringe meta.